What is the best Autopod alternative for DaVinci Resolve? And specifically DaVinci Resolve because we don't mess with that Premiere Pro Adobe stuff. Your biggest candidates are going to be the DaVinci Resolve built-in Smartswitch, which is only for the studio version, Podmate, which is an external plugin, and Autocut, which is also another external plugin. I'm actually going to compare these different tools for you based on, number one, how much time can they actually save you? How much time to lay on our couches can we buy back? And the biggest component of that is going to be, how does the AI edit actually perform? Because if it's going to give us just a bunch of garbage nonsense, we might as well just do our own garbage nonsense and save money. Another important factor is, what customizations can you make? Imagine you want it to perform one way and it just does something entirely different. That's going to be a problem, right? I need my AI tools to actually obey me, right? I'm a pretty strict person when it comes to AI tools. And lastly, and surprisingly, how long does it take to run? Because you'd be surprised, some of these tools take forever to run. And if you're just gonna have to wait for it to do its thing, you might as well just do it yourself. So what are my methods gonna be? I'm gonna have 3 randomized timelines with each of these different tools. That means I won't be able to tell which one is which. Ground rules, I'm gonna choose 3 random 1-minute sequences, and I'm only gonna fix it when there's just a long period where the camera's on the wrong person. I went ahead and turned off reaction shots on all these tools. For transparency, I'm going to post the entire videos of me editing the output from these different tools. So how good were the actual edits? DaVinci Resolve Smartswitch, for the 3 minutes of footage, I actually only needed 3 different fixes, which is not as bad as I expected.
Hi Raghu.
Podmate, for 3 minutes of footage, needed 4 fixes, so pretty comparable.
Okay.
This is before Christ.
Yeah.
So
Autocut, just to put it plainly, it needed a bunch of fixes. Now the strange thing is, I turned off reaction shots, but it was still giving me reaction shots for some reason.
Welcome to the pod. 7 months in, and we're currently. So let's not waste.
And so I just consider that to be a problem, and those were things that needed to be fixed. So the best here were Podmate and DaVinci Resolve Smartswitch in terms of how good was the actual edit. And medium was Autocut. It didn't perform as well, but it obviously was still doing something useful. Now, how long do these edits take to run? You're going to be surprised here. DaVinci Resolve Smartswitch for a 12-minute timeline, and I'm running it on my M1 Mac. I know, not the top of the line, fanciest hardware. 21 minutes to run, which is incredible. Can you imagine if you extrapolate that out, how long a 1-hour timeline or 2-hour timeline would take? That is actually insane. And I found a couple Reddit posts where people were complaining about the same thing. If other people are complaining, then it's probably a relatively common issue. Podmate, 12-minute timeline took about a minute to run, which is fantastic. Even better, Autocut, 54 seconds to run. These 2 tools were the best for that, Podmate and Autocut. And then DaVinci Resolve Smartswitch, if it's gonna take that long, I'm just gonna do it myself. I'm not the fastest editor, but I'm faster than that, all right, somehow. Now, the next most important question, do they support the multicam tool? The DaVinci multicam tool is just really good at helping you make cuts faster. And so if it's gonna export the edited cut into the multicam tool, then you're just gonna be able to tweak and find opportunities for reaction shots, and things are just a lot better. Podmate does support the multicam tool. DaVinci Resolve Smartswitch exclusively supports the multicam tool, meaning that's all it supports. And Autocut, unfortunately, at the moment does not support the multicam tool. Now, what useful customizations can you make? Because we need our AI tools to do what we need them to do. All right. Podmate has the ability to give you reaction shot and edit pacing. You can also change the wide cam and split cam frequency. It gives you the ability to export into the multicam tool versus the regular tool. Minimum clip size is kind of like, you want to get rid of these like quick panning back and forth to a single person back and forth. If you want to get rid of that, then turn these sliders up. If you want to not get rid of it and really maximize appeal to the TikTok Gen Z mind, which needs like a temple run footage on top of the podcast just to keep their attention, make sure that that minimum clip size is as low as possible, please. DaVinci Resolve Smartswitch has similar. Wide cam frequency can be changed. Minimum clip size can be changed. It also gives you the L-cut length, ability to tweak that, which is really interesting. Now, lastly, Autocut. Autocut gives you the ability to change the pacing of the reaction shots and the overall edit. It also lets you cut audio alongside the video. Seems pretty useful in certain cases. Imagine you're just kind of trying to get rid of a piece of footage. You just click on that whole thing, which is nice. And lastly, it gives you the ability to prioritize speakers. Now, what what I assume this means is like if there's two people talking and you don't have a wide cam, one person gets priority over the other. So I could see that being useful in certain cases. Now, do they support wide cams? Yes. All of them support wide cams. That seems like a necessary feature, I think, just so we can all get that wide shot so we can properly examine the bulging stomachs. Just me, actually? Okay. Just my gut? Okay. Now, do they support split cams? That's more interesting. Podmate does support split cams, and the other two do not natively support split cams. If you kind of like hack the software together, maybe you can get it to support that, but definitely not built in, no options to do that automatically. So to wrap this all up, Podmate and the DaVinci Smartswitch give the best basic edit. Smartswitch does take forever to run, so that's a big factor. Autocut and Podmate are super fast in terms of actually running fast. Autocut doesn't have multicam support, while DaVinci and Podmate do. Widecam is ubiquitous in all tools. Split cam is only inside of Podmate. So my slightly biased opinion is that Podmate is the best first option to try, and then Autocut might be a good secondary app to evaluate as well. The long run times of DaVinci Smartswitch are a big problem for me because I need my AI edit back in like a reasonable amount of time. So I hope that was helpful and saved you some time, and have a great day. Bye.